protectors of the Sunnah, Sunnah followers, protectors of the Sunnah.
One. In alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. Welcome to another session of our series on predestination. And again, guys, predestination, this is one of the tenets of faith. As Muslims, we're supposed to believe in the Qadar of Allah. And that's what the Arabic word Qadar refers to. Predestination. You guys have probably grown up watching a lot of the Viking movies and Viking shows and medieval shows, King Arthur and all that. And one of the things that they used to always say back in those days was change your stars. Change your stars. Go out and change your destiny. Find your destiny. Okay, you can find that you don't have to look for your destiny. Your destiny has already been written for you. It's going to find you, whether you, like Umar said in that hadith we went over yesterday, your destiny is going to find you, whether you want it to or not. But as far as, as far as altering it and changing it, you know, it doesn't change. This is what the pagans have always believed. The Vikings, the medieval people, they've always believed that we can change our destiny. You know, and even today, we have Muslims that believe that we can change our destiny simply by making dua, and that's incorrect too. Your dua is part of your destiny. Your destiny changed before you was born. Before you was even born, Allah knew that you would supplicate. Before you was even born, Allah decided He was going to accept your supplication or not. If Allah decided to accept your supplication, then He changed what was written. But if He decided that He wasn't going to accept your supplication, He left it alone. But this was all before we were born. So we have to understand your supplication. You cannot change your destiny today by supplicating. If you supplicate today, that's part of it. Okay, so we have to understand that we don't want to walk around with that Viking belief, that pagan belief that we can change the stars. We can change what's written. Just pray to Apollo or pray to Allah and He will change your destiny. No, the ink has been dried. The book has been sealed. We live out each day of our lives because Allah knew the choices we would make in our lives. Allah is the one that chose to either bring goodness to us or to bring evil to us as a means of testing us to see if we understand what our purpose in life is. Okay, He's the creator of all good. He's the creator of all evil. He's the creator of you. He's the creator of me. But does He jump in your body and make your choices? No. He gave you free will. He gave you free will. He gave you free will because He likes for us. Remember, arrogance is Allah's cloak. Pride is His garment. He is omnipotent. He likes for us to recognize that He exists and He's greater than us. So His knowledge encompasses everything. He knows what you're thinking before you even think it. He knows what you're feeling before you even feel it. He knew what you was going to think and feel centuries ago before you were even in existence. That's His knowledge. But He's not jumping in your body. He's not jumping in my body, making us make choices. We make our own choices. He just knows what they're gonna be. And either He will reward us for them or punish us for them. And when we talk about the resurrection tonight, we're gonna go into how he punishes us right at death for those choices we made during our life. Okay, today I'm gonna try to make this even more simple for you guys to understand. Let me put the PowerPoint up on the screen. It's not gonna be long today. You don't have a quiz because you had one yesterday. Let's put this up here. Today, we're going to speak about what is the difference, because this is another question that a lot of Muslims have that they don't understand. What's the difference between Al Qadar and Al Qadaa? Al Qadar and Al Qadaa. What are they and what is the difference? Well, in Arabic, Qadar means the decree. When we speak about Al Qadar, we are speaking about the decree of Allah. We are speaking about Allah's judgment. We are speaking about our individual ultimate destiny. Okay? So, in the technical sense, Qadar, Q-A-D-A-R. Al Qadar means something of which there was prior knowledge of. It's one of the things that was written by the pen when the pen was commanded to write everything that was going to happen for eternity. So when we talk about our destiny is, and whoever that is with any children, here we go. I got to always, when I'm teaching something, oh God. Thought I had all this stuff off. Can't keep nothing on because you guys cannot control your children. Hold on, people. Take everything back off. All right. So when we speak about destiny, we're speaking about the things that Allah already knew would happen. And he wrote them down, had them written down in his book. Everything. Even when a leaf falls from a tree, that's already been written. When a person or something lives or dies, that's written. When it's going to be a storm, a tornado, when it's going to rain, all of that was already written. So Qadar refers to Allah's decree, his judgment. Okay, so that's the meaning of Al Qadar. When Allah decreed the affairs of all his creation, he knew that these things would happen at certain times and in a specific way. And so because Allah knew that these things would happen at a certain time or at a specific way, he decreed it. Allah knew that Hurricane Ian would impact America. It would impact America in October. That was written. The date, the time, and how it would impact. Who would die? Who would live? Who would get blown away? Like Dr. Jamali was being blown away while talking. That was written. It was written that Dr. Jamali would be standing out in a hurricane in Myrtle Beach, trying to film the hurricane with his Palestinian flag flying all over his face. That was already written. Allah decreed for that to happen. Allah decreed for it to happen that way. Okay? But did Allah choose for Dr. Jamali to walk out in that storm? That's the question. Did Allah choose for him to walk out in that hurricane? No. Allah sent the hurricane at a certain time, at a certain place. He knew that Jamali would be there. But he also knew that Jamali, being the scientist that he is, and the curiosity that scientists have, especially a person that's a scientist like him, he's a geologist. Allah knew that the temptation to go out in that hurricane would be so great for Jamali that Jamali would do it. But did Allah make Jamali do it? No, he put the instances in place. Allah created the situation as a test for Jamali. Allah sent the hurricane. Allah set the hurricane in motion as a test to see what Jamali would do, even though Allah knew what he would do. So Jamali walked out into the hurricane to take pictures of it. Being a scientist that he is, Allah knew this would happen. Allah also knew that when Jamali went out there, he would be making dua, asking Allah to save the Muslims, to save the Muslims, to save the Muslims. Allah already knew that Jamali would not be able to resist walking in that hurricane. Allah knew that Jamali would be walking, making dua, saying, oh Allah, please save the Muslims. So Allah smiled on Jamali and he decided, I accept his dua. I'll save the Muslims and I'll start by saving him so he don't get blown away while he's walking in a hurricane like he ain't got good sense. SubhanAllah. Do y'all understand the decree? So it happened. Allah knew it would happen. He knew everything that would happen. And he knew the results of what he decreed to happen. Listen to what Ibn Hajar said about Al Qadar. He said, what is meant by Al Qadar is that Allah knows how things will be. And Allah knows when they will happen before he even initiates them. Then Allah creates that which he already knows will happen. So everything that happens stems from his knowledge, his power, his will. Y'all understand? Allah had the power and the will to make that hurricane. He knew what Jamali would do. He chose to smile upon Jamali. Okay? As a result. Listen to what another one of the scholars said. He said, Al Qadar means that Allah brings things into existence in a specific manner with regard to its essence and qualities and in accordance with his knowledge and that which has been written by the pen. So does everybody understand what Qadar is? So Al Qadar refers to everything that happens. It was already decreed to happen. It was decreed to happen through the will of Allah, through his judgment. Allah knew that Jamali would walk in that storm making dua for the Muslims. So Allah judged Jamali. He judged to accept his dua. And this was before Jamali was even born. So all Jamali did was played out the scenario that was already written for him. Am I making sense? Latifa, am I breaking this down? As the example I'm using, is it helping to understand? Jamali was just the actor in the play that Allah wrote centuries ago. And Allah already judged the actor in that play 60 million years ago. He judged to make Hurricane Ian go away as a result. Is this clear to everyone? Anybody confused? Go ahead, Anissa.
No, I'm not confused. It's excellent. Excellent.
Good. Just want to make sure I'm explaining it good. Okay. That's Al Qadar. Okay. So predestination includes two things. When we talk about the Qadar of Allah, when we talk about the will of Allah, it includes two things. The eternal knowledge of Allah, of which he created whatever he wanted to exist. Allah wanted that hurricane to exist. He also had wanted the qualities of that hurricane to exist as they did. And this was all done trillions of centuries ago. And he had the pen write it all down in his preserved tablet. So the heavens and the earth, their size and dimensions, the way they are formed and everything in between them and in them is already written in that book. Also, the creation of whatever Allah has decreed to exist through his prior knowledge and what was written by his pen, it will happen. And it will happen exactly as he willed it to happen. It cannot be changed. You cannot alter, or just like you cannot alter or change the Quran, guys. The Quran cannot be altered. It cannot be changed because Allah protected it. That's the same with the decree of Allah. Allah's Qadar, his decree cannot be altered, cannot be changed. Such is Allah. Everybody understand that? So, predestination is a general word that refers to the prior knowledge of Allah and that which he created in accordance with his knowledge. Y'all get it? That's predestination. That's Al Qadaa. Now, what about Qadar? What about Al Qadaa? Al Qadaa refers to Allah's will and his decision, whereas the Qadar of Allah is Allah's knowledge. The Qadar of Allah is Allah's knowledge. The Qadar of Allah is his knowledge. The Al Qadaa refers to his will, his decision, his judgment. The fact that Jamali didn't get blown away. The fact that Allah made the hurricane leave. That was his decision. That was Allah's judgment as a result of what Allah sent. Again, in order to understand this whole topic, we have to first understand why we were created. And you have to first understand what your purpose is. We, as human beings, we were all created to worship Allah. And our purpose is to prove to Allah that we believe in him. If you understand that, then everything else here makes sense. Allah puts us in certain circumstances and instances to see how he should decide our fate. So Al Qadaa, it carries different meanings. For example, Al Qadaa, it refers to when something is completed and finished due to Allah's will for it to be. Okay, Allah completed, made that hurricane end as a result of how Jamali called upon him. That was Allah's decision. Okay, I decide I am going to accept his supplication and cause the hurricane to end and protect him from being out there and also all the Muslims in his area. Okay, so Al Qadaa refers to something being completed and finished due to Allah's will for that to be. It also refers to something carried out properly and completely due to Allah's decision. And it also refers to something that has become obligatory or is known or done due to Allah's judgment. So Al Qadaa refers to all of this. It refers to Allah's decision, his judgment, what he deems to be correct. All of that is Al Qadaa. It's basically the outcome of what he decreed. Allah has already given the outcome for each and every one of us. Some of us will be in paradise. Some of us will be in hell. That's Al Qadaa. That's Allah's decision because we lived our lives already. And when death comes, Allah has already determined what our fate will be based on the choices we made when we were living. That's Al Qadaa. Qadar is the decree, the knowledge and the circumstances, the situations. Qadaa is the decision, the final verdict. Am I making this easy? Am I breaking this down in simple English for y'all? A lot of the Arabic speakers, they make it so hard to understand. Okay. There are two scholarly views concerning the difference between Allah's will. Qada is Allah's will and judgment. Qadar is his decree. Well, the first view is that Allah's will means the previous knowledge which Allah used to create and rule all things till eternity. Okay. The decree refers to when the creation follows what has been written. Okay, so that's the two different views which we already discussed. The first view. The second view is the opposite. There are some scholars too, guys, who will switch it up. They will say that Al Qadaa is what Al Qadaa is, and Al Qadaa is what Al Qadaa is. But basically, what I want you guys to know, so you don't end up confused, is Qada, Qadaa, is the ultimate decision. That's the outcome. Qadar, Qadar, that's what's written already and can't be changed. Does everybody understand? That's how you make this stuff easier for the people to understand. Okay. So Qada and Qadar are two interwoven matters which cannot be separated one from the other, because the Qadar, the decree, is the foundation, and the outcome is the structure. If you cannot separate the two, otherwise you will destroy them both. Does everybody understand that? So that's really the easiest way to describe the difference between the two. Al Qadaa, this is what's already written to happen. The hurricanes, the rain, the storm, whether you're Muslim, whether you're not, whether you drink alcohol, whether you live your life righteously, whether you disobey Allah, that's the Qadar. That's already written. Allah knew what you would do based on whatever circumstances he chose to put on you, because we're all tested in different ways. What I'm subjected to in my life may not be what you're subjected to. Let's take me and Amina Fresno. Amina Fresno is faced with death every weekend. I'm faced with bad children every weekend. But both of the tests are hard for us, but we can handle them. I couldn't handle what Amina's going through. She probably couldn't handle no disrespectful kids. She wouldn't tolerate it. She'd mace them and tase them. Okay? I couldn't handle people dying. I'd go crazy, probably have a nervous breakdown. But we can handle what Allah gives us. That's his decree. Now, the outcome, Al Qadaa, is the outcome. When the angel of death pulls our soul, where we end up. That's Al Qadaa. Whether or not Allah accepted your supplications, that's Al Qadaa. Based on his, that's Al Qadaa. Does everybody understand? Okay, any questions about this? I'm probably sure that some of you are confused. That's why I'm gonna leave this for questions now. Get on the mic. Anybody confused? Let's hear it. Are you guys listening?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
You said Al Qadaa is written and can't be changed.
Right.
And what did you say?
Qadar can't be changed either. That's part of it. But Qadar refers to Allah's decision. That's the outcome. That's the judgment based on what you choose to do with whatever you are faced with.
So that's our ultimate decision?
That's the ultimate decision, whether you're going to end up, whether Allah is going to accept your dua, whether Allah is going to put you in heaven or put you in hell, that's Al Qadaa. Allah does what he wants based on your reaction. Let's look at it like this. Al Qadaa is the reaction you have. Qadar is Allah's judgment. Well, based on how you reacted, am I going to forgive you or not? Am I going to punish you or not? Am I going to put you in heaven or not? That's Qadar. Qadar is everything that happens because Allah said be, and it's here. You can't change either one of these things. That's what Allah meant when he said, these of your offspring will be in paradise, Adam, and these will be in hell. It's already written. Allah had his knowledge lets him know how your response would be. Like I used that hurricane. Allah had already wrote that hurricane in Dr. Jamali would occur. He wrote that trillions of centuries ago, before Jamali was even born. It's just that he knew what Jamali would do. He knew Jamali's actions, and Allah chose to smile upon him and let the hurricane go away and not blow his butt away. Okay. That was his ultimate decision. I'm going to let this man live, and I'm going to answer his supplication. He shouldn't have been out there in that hurricane, but that shows he believed in me. Y'all get it? Does that make sense?
So the supplication is for asking Allah for help at that time. That's what that supplication is all about, right?
No, supplication means to call upon Allah for however we call upon him.
Yeah, call upon him for help.
Or whatever. I can call upon him for food, or just call upon him just to say, hey, what's up, Allah? How you doing? I love you.
Okay, I just want to know about
Supplication in English means to talk to Allah. That's what supplication is, to call upon Allah.
Okay.
But your calling upon Allah does not change your destiny. It's just that Allah knew that you would call upon him, and he knew that if you would. Allah, and then when we do call upon Allah, he may or may not answer.
True.
Okay. He chose to answer the call that Jamali gave this time and make that hurricane go away. But he could have said, I ain't going to accept that. I'm going to keep it there and kill everybody.
So that's his Qaddaa, Qaddaa.
Yes, that was his decision. Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes. That was the ultimate decision.
Okay.
Yes, Brother Melvin, most people, like I tell you guys, most human beings think that they can change the Qadar of Allah. And like I said in the beginning, because, it's the nature. Allah says in the Quran, it's the nature of the human being to be attracted to what's haram. As the Prophet Muhammad said, we're superstitious by nature. It's the nature of the human being to be superstitious. It's the nature of the human being to want to deal in magic. It's the nature of the human being to think they can change their destiny. That's our nature. Because as Allah says in the Quran, we are criminal by nature. Allah created us to be criminal by nature. That's the whole purpose of our existence, changing the nature of ourselves, changing the nature of yourself to that which is pleasing to Allah. Most human beings believe want to do magic, and they're superstitious. If they don't try to change it, oh yeah, they think they can change their destiny. That's the nature of the human being. You think you can change the stars, like I said. But if you learn that's why Allah says learning the religion is an obligation. If you educate about yourself about Allah, you realize you can't change nothing. It's already written. But the people that sit around thinking they can change their destiny, they're just giving in to the nature of themselves. Humans believe they can change and live forever. That's the nature. Immortality. Why do we like vampire movies and werewolf stories and angel stories? That's what happened with Adam. Why did Adam eat from that tree? He ate from that tree because he thought it was the tree of immortality. That's our nature. We're criminal. As Muslims, we spend every day of our lives trying to change that nature, to put it on the right track. But like the prophet said, most of us will fail. because very few of us will understand Al Qadar. Few of us will understand the decree of Allah. Those who do not understand the Qadar of Allah are the pagans, the Vikings of this nation. So yes, Brother Melvin, it's not just where you live, here in America. Like I said, most of the people in my Zoom room thought they could change their decree. I had a student come in here the other day to challenge me on it. So it's not just where you live, it's everywhere, because this is the nature of the human being, to be superstitious and to want immortality and to want to change the stars. That's how Allah created us, to be criminal. So you spend all your life trying to conform to what's right and get away from that criminal side of yourself. Yeah, any other questions? Why do you think we like movies like that? How many of we love to see the Viking movies? We love that. Why do you think you're attracted to that series, The Vikings? It ain't because of the killing, it's because of the nature of the human. They're showing the criminal side. Change your stars, die with your sword, be with Thor. It's the nature. We're attracted to the evil nature of ourselves. As Muslims, we know we don't live that crap, but we still like watching it. Something to think about. I believe in the Qadar of Allah, but why am I attracted to those Viking movies? That's my jinn. That's my jinn calling me. Why is it that we like to watch the Viking movie, that Viking series? It ain't the sex in it. The sex ain't nothing. That's our jinn calling us to that pagan belief. The Vikings were pagans. And our jinn wants us to be attracted to that, so we can question the Qadar of Allah. We think so we can do like those Vikings in that show do, think they can change their stars. Everything makes sense. Yeah. Celebrating birthdays and all that, we already know that stuff is haram. Okay, but if you want to fall in, and that's what we're going to talk about today in my series on the resurrection. When I'm going to scare you guys today, because the truth hurts and the truth is scary. You're going to learn that when people are dying, why is it that a lot of these Muslims have bad endings? That's one of the reasons why. Because everybody else believed it. Everybody else was doing it. If you lived your life walking to the drum of everyone else except Allah's drum, you're going to have a bad ending at death. The Vikings, they had terrible endings. You're going to die like a Viking, a terrible death. The Vikings were barbaric. I know. I'm 39%, was it 30? I'm 39% Viking. So I studied and I got a degree in history. I love ancient civilizations. That's my bachelor's degree. I studied them Vikings from A to Z because I got a lot of Viking blood in me. I'm from the Giton. Google the Giton, that's me. We're descendants of King Charlemagne too. I'm a descendant of King Charlemagne on my mother's side. I studied them Vikings like crazy. Them some barbaric people, and it runs in my blood like crazy. That's why my family got the problems they got. Oh yeah. That's my mother's side. Giton, Google, statues everywhere. They were some barbaric people. And most of them met terrible deaths. Terrible deaths. They killed their brothers. They killed their fathers for power. Power. Die with the sword. They were some terrible people. You know, but we're attracted to them. Yeah. Yeah, with Brother Melvin, that makes you a stranger. Remember, you're a stranger. We're living in the days of fitan that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam warned against. Yeah, the people that follow the Sunnah, we're looked at as being strange. Rashida, that's your blood. Rashida on Facebook is my Viking cousin. Sorry, honey. We got some terrible roots. Do it. Read about King Charlemagne and the Gitones, and we come from Ranelagh, for real. That Viking show y'all watched on TV, Ranelagh. My family's descendants of that. My mother's side, them some filthy people. Incestuous too. Yeah, but everybody loves Vikings. Blonde hair, red hair, blue-eyed people. Those are your true Caucasians too. For you Arabs listening to me, let me give y'all a little history, because I was in one of these groups yesterday and they were talking about the classification of Arabs. Arab people are not Caucasians. The Caucasians are the Vikings. Are y'all crazy? You ain't no Viking. You ain't no blonde hair, red head, blue-eyed, nothing. I already gave y'all the history of the Arab race. Allah tells you in the Quran where the Arabs originated from. You are from Saba in Yemen, the 4 tribes of Saba that Allah caused to disperse throughout the earth. That's where the Arabs, one went to the Syria, the Ghassans, those of you Arabs in that part of the world that come, and they gave the whole list of names and everything that most of y'all have. Okay. The others went to the southern part of Arabia. Another one went to Mecca. Another one went to Medina. That's the originators of the Arabs that we have today. You are not Caucasian. You are not from the Vikings. The Vikings didn't come to that part, not to Arabia. So if you Arabs thinking that y'all are Caucasians, you're crazy. You are not from Viking roots. You are from African roots. You are from Yemen, the people of Saba, as Allah says in the Quran, and they were black men. They were African. They were not barbaric Caucasians. The Caucasian race is emanates from Viking, the Northmen. You're not a Northman. Okay. You're African. Okay. Yeah, any other questions or comments? Yeah, go to ancestry.com, guys, and do your DNA and pay. It costs money. You can trace your family all the way back. I did both sides, my mother's side and my father. Now, my father's side is Arabic, and I can trace my father's roots back to Saba-Ur. Saba-Ur. That's the tribe of Saba my father's people are from. But my mother's, Viking, Ranelagh. The Giton. Terrible people. All right, I'm going to close up here, guys. Make sure you guys, we're going to broadcast the hijama. For those of you listening, the hijama with the Dr. Dramali. He's going to show y'all here. You're going to see it live on video, how to do the cupping. A lot of you have questions about cupping. Is cupping good for you? I think it's going to be him and his wife. His wife will be helping with this. So you guys will get to see how the cupping is done. And also Dr. Jamali and his wife will speak about the benefits to cupping as what the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam taught. That's going to be at 8:45. And then after this, we're not going to be long. When he's done with his cupping workshop, then I'll do my series on the resurrection. It's Saturday. Most of you don't have to work, so you can stay awake tonight and learn how to fear your Lord. All right. So I'm closing out on Facebook. Feel free to join us in the Zoom room. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Yeah, wait a minute, guys. What? Yeah, I'm reading what she's saying here. Yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah, we don't celebrate no birthdays either. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you looked at yesterday's video?